Welcome back to a brand new Civ 6. When the aliens 1,000 years from now start dissecting human remains, they might determine this to be a Civilization 6 deity video. But we're back at it again with Ptolemy, Cleopatra this time, and for the more astute of you may have noticed I've toggled on the Apocalypse game mode. Not only are we going to get a prostate thrusting of massive proportions, but it's also going to allow us to get what could quite possibly be the greatest tile ever created in the history of civilization. My name will go down in the record book alongside the other greats like Ted Bundy, Alexander, and I was gonna say Kim Kardashian, but I guess I'm really getting into that Ted Bundy spirit by thinking of her kidney there. But this game is going to be nothing short of a sensational practice in wonder whoring. We're gonna immediately beeline the Great Shower, and then we're going to put it right over here on the floodplains. Now, those of you might be wondering that the Great Shower isn't really the best wonder, not really the one you normally go for. And that's correct, except for the fact that this is also going to have soothsayers as we settle the city of Rockheaded with just 100 measly faith that can go ahead and cause a flood that absolutely damages every tile, giving me 1 faith for every floodplains tile. We do that enough times, I am certain we can hit 500 yields on a single tile. Start's going to be as normal, double slinger into warrior, monument completely ignoring the scout, and we are hopefully going to pray nobody gets the Great Shower before we do. There's the city-state of Jerusalem that I 100% without a doubt didn't place there to increase my faith yield. I'm going to go ahead and take the slinger and move my warrior to a place where I'm not sure if I can find another city-state for. Well, this is extremely peculiar. It seems I found another city-state, but there's no time to waste. It's time to get down and dirty, and then build the Great Shower so we can get undirtied. Now, building a wonder on deity difficulty is probably one of the dumbest things you can do in the early game. In fact, it probably is the dumbest thing you can do in the early game, but it is most definitely something that is going to turn this game from mid to, well, not mid, I suppose. It's Pantheon time. I can't go religious settlements. I do believe that is cheating, though, considering I've given myself like 3 faith yield tiles all in one. So I think I'm instead going to take fertility rights to get a builder, and then use this builder to go ahead and start chopping when mining comes through. The goal is to get that great bath as quickly as possible, as there doesn't seem to be a wonder-boosting civic for the next little while. Ilkium, Agogay, foreign trade, not until Corvée. If we have to wait till Corvée to get the great bath, then there's absolutely zero shot we'll be able to build it. We're also going to work on the food and immediately go for the 131 tile. Getting 3 turns extra on the Great Bath is going to be nothing short of critical for us to get it as quickly as possible. This warrior's chasing me down like I scream Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior in the streets of the Taliban. I'm going to have to go ahead and deal with this guy, else he's going to turn my anus into the average deity experience with Apocalypse mode toggled on. Gonna go probably urban planning to get myself a little bit of extra production. That right there saved absolutely 0 turns, it seems, so a policy card well spent. We'll go ahead and continue moving our units. This warrior does realize that he cannot step up to my big step. Oh, well, that spearman definitely can. It looks like this is the end for our storied slinger. Well, I failed to calculate that the spearmen in this game, especially the barbed ones, are lacking more chromosomes than an undeveloped fetus. Well, we're gonna have to actually flabbergasted that this guy is still alive, quite honestly. We do have another barbarian outpost towards the west, though, so our rectum isn't exactly safe as of this recording. We do have mining, though, so we are gonna be able to chop out a few turns out of the Great Bath, and then we could probably, well, I failed to put more wood tiles, it seems. Gonna have to go and build a mine for any more production. Seems that Spearman has decided not to follow me. I haven't been up to my usual masturbating standards as of this point. Yeah, it seems he's gotten. My baiting has apparently been ineffective against him. We're about 3 turns away from the Great Bath. If we don't get the Great Bath, then it's just game over. This spearman probably isn't going to be able to kill me next turn. If he does, I'm probably going to kill myself in Minecraft, of course. Well, it seems this guy's the biggest pussy I've ever met in my entire life as I get a free new population. You absolutely love to see it. Also, before we get started in earnest, I just want to point out my Discord channel link down below in the pinned comment. You can even send your disaster saves. I'll start on some of these soon. I know Unspoken Jizz has a fairly good one, except he has a lot of mods that I have to install, which is unfortunate. An average Sigma male has enabled Apocalypse mode as well as dramatic ages, making me kind of wary about this one, considering the entire game's going to be a disaster no matter what I do. But yeah, go there, put a disaster save in there if you want, and someone sent me a direct message, it seems. This is the beginning of your direct message with, Sixwe. Hello, Sixwe. Hello, my dear. I am aware of your exceptional gaming skills. Thank you. I knew this would always pay off. Do you like these girls? Well, they don't look like Yadwiga, so I'm not sure about them. Their character's an ARPG. I have never heard of an ARPG before. Is that anal, rough, play? In the bathroom? I'm not sure what those syllables stand for. Evil Awakening. That's not very good. Of course, there's more different girls to pick in the game. There's always one like you. Just calling me a little girl. No. There's always one you like. Alright, I thought Sixwe was trying to square up for a second. I thought you wanted all the smoke. She has sent in the link, which I am 100% certain is going to install various viruses in my computer. As you can see, here are the different girls like you, or whatever she was saying. There seems to be also an uncensored nipple on one of these, so take with that what you will. This one's got horns. I'm not even sure she's human. This one over here has very impractical body armor. This one right here is just wearing silk, so I'm fairly certain that the knight trying to strike you down is going to have an easier time than you would think. Melody's going to be great because it's more faith for the old god obelisk, which is exactly what we're going for. I'm not going to go for a religion because I'm already wasting time as I built the Great Bath immediately. You love to see it. And then with my faith outcome, once I get to 100, those soothsayers, excuse me, I just went through a minor stroke, are going to be nothing short of incredible for our run. Seems I've met the fabled masochist spearman who does nothing except run around and get spanked by my slingers, which, I mean, it's a lot better than getting spanked by the AI in general, so Babylon isn't in this game, and I walk on this tile and find a line well, it's Babylon. Line infantry's probably excessive. Probably be something like a mechanized infantry at this stage of the game, if we're being completely honest. But there's nobody in the encampment, meaning I can go in and destroy the people, hopes, dreams, women, and children left in that encampment. Not until they organize a defense force that'll do absolutely nothing except watch me completely obliterate their way of life. And then with our 100 faith, we can now go ahead and get the Soothsayer. Immediately also going to buy as many floodplains tiles as is possible, because this Soothsayer is going to... Hopefully this guy doesn't die. This Soothsayer is going to be doing numbers here. With that, we are now getting 1 faith for each of these tiles, increasing our faith output excessively. Now, they're not exactly the pinnacle of Civilization 6 tiles just yet, but I'm fairly certain with a few more of those... Oh, fuck, there goes my anal cavity. Let's see which civ this is. I'm hoping it's like Scotland or someone. And then again, we could use the Soothsayer's abilities twice, and just like that, we are not necessarily... Fuck it, for Valhalla. Beautiful. We're not necessarily making the pinnacle of faith output until we start growing the populace, of course, although it does seem like my food production seems to be lagging a little bit. We'll go ahead and get that 2-2 tile to increase food production, of course, and find out the civ. It's Ludwig of Germany, of course it is. Who else would it be except the moat instead of a goatee-looking bitch? It does seem like he does have Mount Rorema, so this game's probably over at this point. I'm not really looking to win the game. I'm trying to get the highest yield tile possible. We are probably going to... Actually, I could probably get a golden age now that I think about it. Well, wouldn't that be something, I guess? Nope, never mind. Ancient Era in 10 turns is absolutely zero shot. It seems Ludwig is willing to trade for me. That's huge. We'll be able to buy a settler in the next couple of turns. Speaking of which, we got one just right now. I'm going to go ahead and put him probably on that dice tile. Actually, that's a stupid idea. I don't know what my synapses are thinking. We're going to go ahead and start settling just everywhere. My goodness, this is going to be the greatest tile of all. It's going to be the greatest yield of all time. It's definitely going to make for a cum wedding experience, undoubtedly. We'll go ahead and start placing the cities everywhere, of course. The more cities you have, the more old god obelisks you have, and the more faith you're going to be generating. I'm going to be trying to make a science victory with... Well, should I? I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to play this game till the finish. It's going to depend on how much yields I can get for each tile. Let's go ahead and get our second settler while we wait. Now, with the Ancient Era coming in 8 turns, if I could get enough money to buy myself my unique unit, there is a chance I'm going to be able to get a Golden Age now that I think about it, and that would be massive, actually. We'll move in through there. You will continue exploring and hopefully not get obliterated by that guy as we get a new builder. That's fantastic. Sphinx right there. That's some era score. That's huge. Meaning if I buy my Mario Chariot Archer, I'm fairly certain I can get a Golden Age as long as I get another era score. Now, I'm not necessarily sure what that era score is going to be, but let's hope it's something that comes soon, else we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Well, it seems I've missed out on the Golden Age by about 1 era score. That's quite unfortunate. I'm starting to think whether I should build a Mario Chariot Archer or not, because, yeah, there's no way I get enough era score. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take my flaccid dick elsewhere, I suppose. We're going to try to go for the medieval era golden age, I guess. You know what? Fuck it. I will go for a religion. Even though we're so far... Well, no one's going for a religious prophet. Well, that's interesting. But hey, we will go for religion. The more faith we have from the holy sites, of course. Hey, there's another 1,000-year flood, and I didn't even have to soothsay anything about it. I'll fucking take it. Apocalypse mode be damned. We are looking... Oh my goodness, I was T-minus 5 seconds away from committing atrocities against my computer screen. It's a good thing that scout hasn't lost his encampment yet and thrown into a fit of rage, capturing my settler. That would have been quite unfortunate. Let's go ahead and find this barbarian in encampment and tell him that this is rightful Egyptian territory and you will have to leave. Else I will make the Americans look like the paragon of native coexistence. Definitely butchered that last bit over there, but I'm fairly certain you all know what I mean. There's early empire, meaning I can plug in colonization and begin colonizing this land. That does look fairly Egyptian to me. Before going for political philosophy, of course, I'm also going to go provision because I am pumping out babies from raw Kedet like I was in a polyamorous relationship in the medieval era. This city is just going to be building all my settlers at this point, although, honestly, should probably get the government plaza first, meaning if we get that beautiful holy site right there, we could get this illustrious holy site right there, giving us an indubitably good government plaza over there. I've run out of big words to use. Get that commercial hub right up there, and then we can get like a campus up there or something. So let's just go ahead and get started on the government plaza. Another major flood has been mitigated, meaning the flood in my pants has been increased to unrealistic proportions. That is a giant amount of faith we're making right now as we lock in that holy site. Actually, I should probably get started on... Yeah, I'll build settlers everywhere at this point. It's time to appease the gods. Sacrifice adjacent unit with their soothsayer gaining score. It will give me a free soothsayer unit. One free random promotion for all present and future. That sounds like a good idea. And we get lots of faith per turn. Alright, well, human sacrifice to the gods time, boys. I'm gonna sacrifice each and every one of my units because of my friendship with Ludwig. If a barbarian comes out of nowhere, then we're kind of boned in that situation, but we have prepared for that. Let's go ahead and actually go get our beautiful holy site right up there before we pump out any more settlers and get that soothsayer up and running. We will also probably take Amani just so we can get 2 suzerainities, more era score, and secure ourselves the golden age. Another soothsayer hit right there, and just like that, each of these tiles is making 6 faith per turn. I don't know what your leader bonus thing agenda is, but I'm happy I've been able to appease you. Eternal Enigma. Do not keep the max number of districts in each city. So essentially, he's pretty much liking you for being ass at the game. Dislike civs that build as many districts as possible. Bro, you are going to absolutely despise me by the time the game is finished then. Might as well declare war right now while you have the chance, considering all my builders are going, or all my units are going to be sent to an Aztec sacrifice in the next 5 or 6 turns. First, political philosophy, allowing me to research classical republic, giving me urban planning along with colonization, plus 2 influence points, and then I can go down and get myself the God King Pantheon as well, or God King thing as well. Well, great profit-wise, it seems like within the span of about 5 turns, everyone and their mother decided to grab one, so there goes my plans for a religion. Wasn't really integral to the strategy, of course, but is what it is. Funny thing about the strategy is how, I guess, scaly it is, if that makes any sense. Why can I not sacrifice an adjacent unit? Which is adjacent to an active volcano? You're telling me it has to be near an active volcano? Well, that kind of tickles my pickle. That's just not going to work out, considering there's no volcano in Egypt anywhere. Whatever the case may be, it's time to go ahead and start working on other more productive things, like building settlers. Go ahead and get the Ancestral Hall, and I think it's about high time I build myself a builder at this point to get that production up and running, considering how ass it seems. We will also go bronze working because there's a lot of choppable tiles I'll need to deal with. I like how scalable this strategy is. The more soothsayers I get to flood the ground, I guess, as I completely fuck up that disaster. The more faith I'm going to be getting on these tiles, meaning the more soothsayers I can buy. It's just like capitalism, my favorite. Look at these majestic tiles right over there. You absolutely love to see it. Not talking about the drought, of course, although that is majestic in its own way. If you like shit, I guess. Here in this city, I think we go ahead and get ourselves probably, well, I didn't work on production like I wanted to. So, well, it seems the ops have shown up. That's going to be a little unfortunate. We'll go ahead and get archery to help out, but, yeah, I probably should have dealt with that barb when I had the chance. I think more importantly, I'm going to go to the city of Reddit right there. Give us a nice little road there, as well as giving me extra food and production, which is what I know. Well, yep. Seems that I'm about to meet my maker at this point. That's not going to go over too well. 25% extra yield in this city is actually huge for me in this game. You won't cross the river and attack me in a fortified position, you pussy. Let's get a mine up there. Look at this man, he's too pussy to do it. Yep, that is a brilliant strategic maneuver, sir. Now you get to die while giving this guy some experience before you go. I'd say that was a job well done. There's a medieval era and another era of me not getting a golden age, which is quite unfortunate. Getting monumentality is probably for the best, though, as I wipe this guy off the face of the earth, and we got some settlers coming in soon. I've even completely forgotten to use my strategy at this point, if I'm being really completely honest right now, considering the fact that I have about 1,000 faith banked up. There's Mariano Chariot Archer at least, and it's time to keep settlers spamming, and let's go ahead and buy ourselves some more soothsayers. Fuck it, we're just gonna start building settlers everywhere. We need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably an 8th one over there, depending on if that tile is settleable or not. Actually, we'll probably put that tile over there. That I'm telling you, man, when it comes to, I'm a goddamn whore when it comes to cities. I want as many in my mouth as possible. By mouth, I mean on the game floor. I don't really want to eat cities, I suppose. I don't know how nutritious that would be. But we're probably also going to settle right on top of that incest. There's an admiral from Germany, Gaius Dullius. All the help that guy's going to give. But it's a giant amount of cities right now. We need about 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 more settlers, which I think we can probably do in the next 20 to 30 turns if we're hoary enough. Now we can get the course promotion. Watch as my measly science and culture immediately starts skyrocketing. And yes, I am well aware there's a tribal village over there. I'm going to go pick that up right now. Civic-wise, we could go theology, and it's time to continue pumping out more settlers. Alright, I don't know where exactly to put this holy site. Probably towards the east somewhere. Now you hit next turn, and just like that, we've quadrupled our yields. It's going to keep going even higher the more soothsayers I get as well. We can now plug in the scripture card instead of the measly conscription one, meaning I now am making a lot more faith per turn than I previously was. Envoy-wise, it seems Jerusalem's been taken by Ludwig. We can't have him have the Holy Land, so we get ourselves another soothsayer. We got about 20 iron from that tribal village, so that's even less than useless. It kind of just not good at all. That's awful. Whatever the case may be, though, I've pretty much gotten all the flood tiles in my capital city. There are still a few, of course, few that I do believe the city of Memphis will not take for some reason, because that doesn't count, because the Great Bath isn't in that city. Wish I knew that before, but hey, is what it is. Now with medieval fairs, we can go ahead, or not medieval fairs, but I forgot to put it in earlier. We're going to go ahead and get serfdom right now. That should prove to be valuable. From there, we get even more soothsayers. Our civil service, and with that we can go to our dear friend. Now can I be alone? Alright, well, he wants me to be his friend after I fuck off, which I don't think that's how the logistics of friendship works, but is what it is. Go ahead and give him the religious alliance. Excuse me, I had another stroke. And yeah, looking at the Nile River right now, we are looking at approximately 26 faith in one tile, which is rookie numbers. We need way more than that. Well, looks like I'm taking it up both holes in this one. That is, well, that's probably a dead horseman, which isn't something you like to see every day. That kind of sucks. This Reformed Church, I figured we might as well go with theocracy to get that 15% discount with faith. I'm fairly certain that works for everything, else I'd look fairly foolish for using that when it doesn't apply to soothsayers. Whatever the case may be, Republican legacy, and I think we go scripture instead of nothing. I'd rather lose the 8 faith at this point. And yeah, overall we're looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and faith buy another soothsayer. We're going to need more food in this city, so let's see if Ludwig's willing to give me any money to buy a builder. Yeah, I've managed to do the opposite of what we set out to do and got in a dark age in the Renaissance era, so you'll have to see that, I guess. I'm fairly certain I'm done settler spamming at this point. I don't think any more will really do too much for me, so I think I'll just start building up the capital. My science and culture are looking sky high at this point. Well, there goes and undoes my hard work. No, it isn't. I forgot Egypt takes no flood damage, which seems pretty strong. Go ahead and buy these tiles and make the most beautiful, fertile floodplains I've ever seen in my life. There's a new Molly. That's, oh, fairly nice meeting you, I guess. It seems he's locked into an eternal conflict with Persia over borders, which is going to be easy if we want to win the game. I haven't made any efforts to win the game, even though I'm #1 in science, despite the fact I haven't built a single campus, nor will I, because now is the time to get stubborn. But yeah, so far so good. This strategy's looking a little more broken than I thought. Georgia somehow's making 20 population. They're making my Cairo city look like absolutely nothing. This is just disgusting at this point. What the fuck? I'll go ahead and continue getting this religious alliance with you. What do religious alliance even give you? What's the next level of the religious alliance? Your allies' religion does not exert religious pressure. Well, it's kind of useless now that I think. We'll go ahead and get a military alliance with Tamar, just because of how so far ahead she is technologically. Then we'll go ahead and get ourselves no alliance with, I mean, if Persia ever figures out what a military is, then yeah, they might be a little strong then, but until then, they might be safe. There's the original Pikachu design, and it's an honor to meet you as well, Wilhelmina. Now, would you be interested in a trade agreement with England? No, you would not. I have 6 dies, and no one I can give the dies to. Makes me want to die, honestly, but hey, you know, better to have more luxuries than not have luxuries at all. Now, if we were playing the Catherine who's too afraid to show her face, then, by God, this might be the greatest game of all time. 6 dies is like 1 court festival project later, and you've won a culture victory already. Civic-wise, we're ahead of everybody. It's not even a competition at this point. This might quite literally be classified as a hate crime, depending on the, I guess, average skin tone of the other leaders we're with. They seem kind of white to me, so probably not. But going democracy, I think, is probably best for this game, even though all of these really don't matter for the most part. And I don't think the civic tree matters anymore, honestly, unless they can give me a bonus to getting soothsayers. Seems Wilhelmina's at war with Molly. Not only that, but she's taking ass cheeks and kissing buttholes. That is just an absolutely disgusting AI rush. I don't think I've ever seen the... Okay, well, apparently not, but it was fun while it lasted, I suppose. Tamar declared war on Wilhelmina. No, 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 she says. Only I can commit atrocities against human life. I'll go ahead and get a traitor here, and then guess what? More soothsayers. Looking at the yields right now, we are looking at a solid 46. I swear it was just at 46. Well, when the numbers get that high, I guess it's really hard to differentiate when and where these things change. Let's go ahead and confirm we haven't hit like the cap on this though. We go ahead, and now the tile's looking at 47. No, we have not. We'll go ahead and send a trade route to Trier, get a market up there. This city has absolutely no food whatsoever. That is, probably should have built some farmlands now that I think about it. Let's go ahead and snag one. Let's go buy some great people at this point to give us a little bit of extra error score. I'll take that free wonder. And I think if we can buy just one more, and there seems to be no money left in the vault, I guess I'll go ahead and use our faith to buy one. We can then come here and buy ourselves a little bit of a boat securing the heroic age. There's the industrial era heroic age, and I am about 5 minutes away from committing razor blades to the insides of my arteries on the wrist, because I just realized a strategy that would make this so much more disgusting. We're back at it, just got the heroic age, this time with a god mod to illustrate the fatal flaw in my unorthodox strategy. First things first, we're going to get Reform the Coinage, Heartbeat of Steam, and 2 arms. Now, I was going to use this strategy with, whatever her name was, Theodora, and be in the tundra, just have like 6 holy sites of Theodora surrounding a vampire castle. Then I realized that vampire castles don't get adjacency from districts. So after rage quitting for a few hours, I then decided to do this Cleopatra strategy to get the largest amount of yields on a tile possible. Except what I didn't realize is just the fact that if I just got a vampire castle, the Vampire Secret Society, and put it over there, for example, then I would be looking at, how much is this? About 287 faith, 1 gold, 23 food, 8 production, and 1 divorce. My goodness, this is just a nasty bit of work right there. Gonna screenshot that and send it for the thumbnail, even though it's technically clickbait. It's gonna be masterful clickbait. And if you got to this point and you're a little disappointed, well, listen, bro, if I picked the right Secret Society, it would still count, so I guess it kind of counts. Whatever the case may be, if I pick the... Well, I guess I wouldn't have the faith from Void Singers. Although it's only like 40 faith per turn, and at this point it's essentially a drop in the bucket. So whatever the case may be, whether you believe it or not, we have now technically gotten the highest tile ever conceived of in Sid Meier's Civ 6. Again, if those aliens do come and dissect our organs in the next 100 years, they might claim this to be a Civilization 6 video, who knows. But yeah, so far, I guess I've completed all the objectives I've set out to do this game. It's turn 167, I'm making 360 culture and 314 science without a single holy, theater, square, nor campus, so despite the suboptimal play, I'd fairly much say that we've got this game in the bag. Technologically, we are about 5 techs behind first place. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 technologies we can finish in 1 turn, so I guess we're technically in first place. Culturally, we could probably easily win that too, considering that we could get an infinite amount of rock bands. So I think I'm going to call it right there. That vampire castle right there is nothing short of, well, it's essentially a war crime at this point. I don't know how exactly I'm going to explain away this one in the law courts of Belgium, but I'll have my work cut out for me. In fact, let's go ahead and get one more soothsayer just to see the number of the vampire castle go up ourselves. Again, technically cheating. Considering all the faith I have left over, I think that more than makes up for the faith I got from the old god obelisk, so again, I'll probably try this strategy again, do the exact same thing, except this time go for vampires and actually get it right this time. As you can see here with this soothsayer, we are looking at, I believe, to be 287 faith. Now, if you'll avert your eyes for just a moment, as the flood gets mitigated, we look at the vampire castle again, and just like that, it's at 288 faith. I'm going to go ahead and shift enter again, because I completely forgot what the faith was pre-flood. Yeah, that's right, I'm kind of an idiot. So I know it's 288 right now. Looking at it right over there, it's looking at 289. Okay, well, I don't think that's the right number. I'm a little confused how it just went up by a measly 1 point when I flooded everything. Okay, well, maybe we have to do it again. Let's flood it again, see what happens here. It seems I've broken the game so hard it doesn't even know what number it should be right now. 60, 60, 60, 60, that's about 240. Okay, I have no idea where it got 290 from. Now I'm a little bit confused. Maybe my capital's making a giant, well, it's making 1,000 faith, so I wouldn't say. Whatever the case may be, this is the largest amount of faith possible. It's going to have about 320 yields on a single tile. If you did enjoy, as always, leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future content. And yeah, see you all in the next video. Peace.